Welcome back to day 3. Today's goal is to understand how the red zone is created and how we trade in the red zone. Now we know that from the green zone, if the AC and the AO are both up or increasing, you're going to have a green price bar. So now it's going to be just the opposite to create the red zone. If the AO and the AC agree, there's your price bar. So they're both red. Momentum is increasing to the downside, and acceleration is increasing to the downside, almost crossing zero here. So when we look at the price bar and you look at a red price bar, what do you know immediately? Momentum and acceleration are both down. You probably don't want to be long at that time, or if you have been long, you're going to want to reevaluate the market. So let's go ahead and take a look at some charts, or actually want to go to this next one and just show you a repeat again of one bar to create. So we have one red bar. We now have a sell stop price, or a stop close only price, excuse me. But it takes 2 bars to know if that sell stop or that stop close only sell will be hit. So it takes 1 bar to create, 2 bars to initiate. And yes, on the second bar, you would have had a stop close only sell. Now, so trading in the red zone, this should be just a little bit of review because we're going in the opposite now. Lower close on consecutive red bar equals an order to sell on the close. So what we're looking for, here's the first one. Here's your red bar, there's your close. The next bar must be red and close lower. Well, it's very obvious that that is red and then it closed lower, so we add it on. Next bar is red and it closes lower. We add it on. Now, if you have a higher close on a consecutive red bar, that's no action. No action on that bar, but you do have a sell again for the next day. So here where I'm pointing the circled area, that closed higher than the previous day, so we did not add on. But we did close lower again here, so we added on that day. It was a stop close only sell. So we actually had 3 add-ons out of the 5 consecutive red bars. Now, we have 5 consecutive red bars, so what do you know? You cannot continue to add on, can you? But I wanted to point out here, you had another higher close. We actually would have had a trailing stop and you'd have been stopped out there. So let's go ahead and take a look at it again. It takes 1 red zone to create, but it takes 2 to initiate. So remember, your AO and your AC are both red. The market's accelerating to the downside. And you've got your first add-on. You have a lower close and it's red. Now we wouldn't have actually taken the signal because it's not on the right side of the gator. This is just for practice. Second bar closed lower and is red. That would be an add-on. Third bar here closed red and lower, an add-on. This is your 5th consecutive red bar here. No more add-ons after 5, remember. 5 consecutive bars, you cannot add on, and you always have a choice after 5 whether or not you want to place a trailing stop. In this case we didn't because look, we weren't even below the gator yet. But in this case you have another red bar here, so we again are ready to set up for another zone trade. 1 tick below the close, stop close only for the next day. And it did close lower and it was red, so we added on here. You also have an AC signal on this bar. Next day was gray, so we didn't add on and we didn't even have an order. But then the next day comes out and we're back to being red, and there's our close. So 1 tick below the close would be a sell, stop close only for the next day where it's circled. And then the next day we have an order in, but look what happens, it closes higher. So we do not have a sell order. Again, we did not add on, but we do have a sell, new order to sell, stop close only for tomorrow. Tomorrow comes out, closes higher and gray. So you should start to have an idea now about the zones and the ideas about the zones. It's an aggressive way to trade. We want to get the best average price. We want the best position in the market, and we want to be able to get out at the best possible place. That's the end of day 3. There was not a lot here today to cover. I want you to go in and practice on your CompuToral again. Go to your investor stream. Go to all your resources. It's very important that you have a lot of practice with these before you actually place your money in the market. The zones, again, I stress, are one of our aggressive ways of adding on in the market, but the 5-bar protective stop or the profit-taking stop is a real good place for beginning traders to make sure that you're not exposing yourself too much. As you become more experienced in the markets and you trade more, you're going to find yourself able to use other stops, able to take different risks, and following your belief systems. So have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.